Everybody, what's going on? It's Mr. Starts with a Vision, and today we're gonna talk some real estate with a good friend of mine I've known for a while, and he is a stand-up guy. He is a man of principles, and it's an honor to have him on this show. And without further ado, we're gonna jump straight into the content so we can bring the value to you guys and allow you guys to learn through any of our mistakes or lessons. So without further ado, Todd, just let us know who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it.
Well, I appreciate you having me on for starters, man. It's definitely my honor to be on with Mr. Starts with the Vision himself, for sure.
Come on now.
But yeah, man, to answer your question, my name's Todd Javery, and I'm born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. I currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia, and I operate business between New Orleans and Atlanta. Um, Full-time real estate investing, and that's been a passion of mine. And I'll tell you more about how I jumped into it. But yeah, that's who I am. That's my story. Entrepreneurship has been in me. It's always been what I knew my end game would be. I didn't necessarily know how I would get bridged into it, but I knew everything that comes with entrepreneurship would end up being my journey in some capacity. So yeah, that's what
Right,
it is.
right. I love entrepreneurship as well, and
For
I
sure.
absolutely feel that entrepreneurship is more than just a word. It's a lifestyle and it's a mindset, and it's something that entrepreneurship and business owner is very different.
For
And it's
sure.
very important for people to understand the difference because they may not be an entrepreneur, but they could be a very good business owner.
Most definitely.
But with that being said, so let us know, what was the vision, since everything to start with a vision, what was the vision that catapulted your life and your entrepreneurial career?
The vision was just always knowing what I felt I was worthy of and what I envisioned life just should be. I always wanted very, very big, I wanted abundance for my family and for myself. And I mean that, much more than just materialistically speaking. So I just wanted abundance, to say the least, in very specific means for myself, for my family. So just being young, as I was younger, I did have family, not many, but I had family in the investing business. My grandmother specifically, she owned investment property in New Orleans. So I was, like I said, I was younger. I had no understanding of what exactly it entailed. I just had an understanding that property my grandmother owned, took care of her lifestyle, paid that rental income, her providing that service, that housing for this family, in return paid her monthly cash flow, which handled her personal, lifestyle, her personal living. And at a very young age, I kind of just got to appreciate and understand the importance of that and its relation to time. That freed up a lot of time where she was able to assist my mother, other family members, in a large way that a grandmother would want to. So,
Right.
with that being said, I kind of, now that I look back in hindsight, I really see that merger of what I wanted out of life, and for me to control as much of my time and to, be fruitful with my time. What I wanted out of life could merge with investing, passive residual income, and, specifically real estate. So that's kind of, I guess, the seed starting, and that was the merger of those two,
Right.
realizations.
Right. And I love that you said it was more so about, the first thing you said was your family. Uh,
Yeah, for sure.
and then second was the freedom of your time. And people really think that we do this for money.
All right.
And I just love that because that's really what it's about, is the time. And you being from the South, I know you are a family man.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
So when you started your real estate career,
Hmm.
what was the vision for your life at that time? You had a vision that helped you start a certain life, but as a just becoming an entrepreneur
Right.
and saying, I want this, what was that beginning vision?
Right. So I mean, I kind of enjoy and take pride in explaining my journey. It was an interesting one. I'm a full-time entrepreneur, as I stated, but I did attend a four-year university. And I did graduate. I have a business degree, and the business degree does tie in line to my entrepreneurship, but obviously by no means is a college degree, a requirement to be successful or wealthy in today's age. But for me, post college, I always knew my end game, and I knew investing in some capacity would be where I would end. But I did entertain some corporate positions because again, it fell right in line with my end all be all, which was what's my best, quote unquote secure means of making some cash consistent, so I could save up to literally jump off and to support my business directly. And that's why it was an interesting period in time. Is post college, I'm kind of waiting on feedback from a few opportunities, but all the while I know I'm really still just trying to grow and figure out which road of entrepreneurship I want to take and how to bridge into it. So while I'm waiting, quote unquote, I decide, I'm ready to start learning more actively about real estate and just let the other positions kind of work themselves out. If they're meant, that's cool. If they're not, then that's all the sign I need to know that maybe I don't need the 2 years of corporate foundation and security and money and security and some type of training. Maybe I'm meant to really jump off the porch right now. And God just clearly showed me what it was. So I just, I finally shut up and listened, and I went for it. So I initially got my entrance to real estate is as a licensee. I'm a licensed agent in Georgia as well, and I partnered with some agents out here in Atlanta and really got a understanding of the business at the foundation level. And I figured that's perfect for me, just being fresh out of school, very young. That gave me a good sense of understanding of what it is I was talking to people about. Speaking to clients about mortgages, about just everything that comes with the business. Me getting licensed just gave me a foundation of great knowledge, in real estate, all the while me still knowing investing is really my calling. That's the wealth, that's the freedom of time, that's the true asset protection, in real
Right.
estate, the investing side. So yeah, licensee. As I said, I worked with other, very successful agents, and I even would partner with agents that worked with investor clients, and I would, just seek out investor clients. That way, I could, before I jump completely off, I could still kind of shadow and see how an investor thinks and what's their analysis process and why would they buy this. So I kind of got a preliminary, firsthand look at some stuff, and at a certain point, man, I just realized, all right, it's time to go full fledged with the investing cap. Letting my license support me in my real estate business, and yeah, man, that was a transition in itself, for sure. So, it that's bridges off to an entirely different story, but that's definitely how everything got started up.
Okay.
My bridge into real estate.
Okay. So now, so now you're an agent. You learn how investors think,
Right.
and walk us through the mental mind frame that you
Hmm.
had along with the physical, and
Right.
what was the next step that pushed you to make your first investment move.
Gotcha. Again, that was a very just interesting period in life because I don't know, you just feel like everything there's a level of confusion with everything. As much as you understand about which the next steps you should take, it's almost the beauty, the catch 22 in entrepreneurship. There's no right way for you to do anything other than the way you determine it. So nobody can tell you you're wrong per se. But then for the same reason, there's no exact blueprint for how to go, forward. So a lot of times you can kind of feel like you may or may not be lost. But the transition came me just really attending, just really pouring into my self education and just whatever I needed to do to mentally psych myself and get myself to a point where I'm ready to just take action. I'm ready to lose every dollar I have, everything, just to implement what it is I'm learning, wholesaling, this marketing. Let me do something active in the investing realm And me just putting that energy out, and also just letting it be known to family, to friends, this is what I do. I'm serious about it. I'm full time, but keep me in mind if you see any opportunity that you think may make sense, or know of anybody looking to buy or sell. I could be of assistance. Always for sure providing value first.
Right.
And I got a call from my uncle, actually. It was a very big help. He had property in an area in New Orleans, and I was back home. I was kind of driving around one time, and in the area that he told me to come check out, because he knew I was actively pursuing, and he told me checking the area out. I went driving for dollars, finally implementing some of the basic, just bootstrapping principles of real estate investing. I'm driving, writing down addresses, sellers, information, and me just being super proactive even before I had the means to really do anything to buy a property. I followed up on calling the numbers I got, and it was just, it was godsend. A great situation worked out. Me following up with the seller, going meet with her, me, pursuing a contract and meeting with him to really just go through the steps it takes to analyze a property.
Mm-hmm.
I took all those steps, and little did I know, the seller, she was more than willing to kind of work with me to make it a good situation for me. She allowed me to own a finance to, put a smaller port. And at this point, again, it was everything in line with my, not to, no pun intended, not to be cliche, but, everything does start with the vision. Me having my end game in mind, let me know every piece of income, something has to be allotted towards this, to an investment move, because it takes some money in some capacity to do something. So man, it was just a blessing. It was a good situation. I was able to acquire the property. I even had a very good situation with my first contractor, to where everybody just was on board with the vision, and I was able to leverage just a lot. And the funds I didn't have to put out to buy this property got to go right towards renovations, and me doing good homework about a turning area, it ended up, increasing in equity. It was a cash flowing rental property, so it benefited me a few different ways. Just, to the T, how my exit strategies kind of came together exactly how I planned, how I envisioned. I want to make note that throughout that process, I'm explaining it like a seamless, this was my plan. It went through one, two, three. It spit
Absolutely.
out cash. But it was, it's a blessing to not know everything that you're going to be getting into prior to. Like, God really is looking out for us, not showing us everything beforehand. Because it was, experience is your best teacher. I ran into a bunch of roadblocks and perceived headaches and everything. So it was a true learning experience, and I made it to the finish line. And it was, I was right, as far as what I thought was possible.
Right. That's amazing. And do you
Mhm.
still have that rental property today?
I do. Actually, I do. I do. And the beauty in it is, like I said, it's really benefited me for some years now. It's an asset that I own that I could show. It's a rental producing property, and it still has a good equity position. So, in the event, and at this point, I'm really understanding business, and it's not, it's monopoly in a sense. So it may be time to even exercise moving that cash to a better serve, asset. So I do still have it, and it's done more than good for me than serving me, and that's always my testament to you really are still on, the right path, and the vision is still real for sure. Because
Right.
that, I was a blind step of faith.
Right. Absolutely. I love that. I love that a lot.
Hmm.
And a lot of people, that they may not understand that, making money and having, building wealth, they're two different things.
Two different things completely,
Two different
for sure,
things.
for
And
sure.
and so the rental route is really a way to build your net worth and also wealth at the same time. And
Absolutely.
just making money is whatever. But so moving forward, you got your rental property,
Right.
you bought it, you fixed it up, you put a renter in it, you still have it,
Right.
and so take us through the next 2 to 3 years, I guess you could say, up to this point. And
Right.
what were the biggest lessons that you've learned, and not just in real estate, but entrepreneurship for all of our listeners? What
Right.
was the biggest, the most important lessons, the most valuable lessons that you feel you've learned that
Right.
you'll be applying to your future?
Man, it's there's a lot of lessons there. I mean, there's way more than just 3 points. I mean, we could be 3 more hours and not cover everything. Truthfully, that
Right.
I've learned firsthand. I know you have as well. But some principles that I've learned that I definitely would kind of just keep in mind, or pass to the next aspiring entrepreneur for sure. And this will kind of describe those next couple 2 years, and then fast forward and even a few more years to present day. Um, for sure, understand the importance and the power in self-developing, and just your I speak investment all day, but the first investment from the time you wake up is yourself, is investing in yourself. That's absolutely first. Understanding, and it, again, truthfully, these answers will probably be more redundant, cliche than not, because it's cliche for a reason, because it's print is truth. So it's going to be true 10 years from now when somebody else says it. But investing in yourself, because that ties right into my second point. To invest in yourself, to just understand the importance of gaining more and more knowledge, and understanding the power in actually taking action and learning from the experience side of things, not just the theoretical, in a book or at a seminar or workshop. That is a powerful. That's what propels you. So from
Right.
investing in yourself, and it doesn't just always mean reading a book. It can mean finally reaching out to this investor who you know is more successful, who you could, message away. You might be able to link yourself with them just to shadow them for a week, and or just say, man, let me be the one who meets your contractor, or let me do something just so I could learn. That's investing in yourself. But from there, now you have a more sense of understanding what you're doing. You have any decision you make, you're basing it on some sense of it's coming from somewhere. It's coming from some homework, some experience, some research. You feel all the more credible to make that decision. That pours into the second, man, action. Action. Like I just spoke a good bit about investing in yourself and theoretical, but action trumps all. You invest in yourself, you build your self confidence, yourself, awareness, self knowledge. That's only for the sake to give you the energy, to give you the faith, the courage to really take that step, that blind step. You can know all the inner workings of the business of wholesaling, but without an actual sending a piece of marketing or actual conversation with the seller, or actually going to see the property, or without the actual feet to the ground action, everything is just still null and void. So
Right.
understand the power in experience, and understand that you're really only meant to understand, to kind of be cognizant of the first few steps without taking action. You don't get all the answers kind of to the test prior to you finishing one, two, three, and it's kind of a faith walk. And from there, man, for sure, pour into yourself, take action at all times. If ever you have a hesitancy about something, more than likely, right behind that, that's where the area you need to just take action and figure it out that route, because you'll never kind of just figure it all out on the front end.
Right.
And man, you can label it how you want, not to speak to the spiritual tangent, but faith, man, faith in yourself, faith in whomever, whatever it is you believe in, that like cliche again, but just to really have unwavering faith that this crazy vision I kind of had about life at 13, 17, 21, 22 really still is possible. Although I may be in a situation where it's a lot of uncertainty, it may be debt. This deal didn't pan out on schedule as I thought it would, so now I just feel like everything went wrong. In spite of all that, I'm literally still going to make it to my end game. I'm still going to hit this goal, although all I can see is kind of some perceived blocks in front of me. And
Right.
that sounds cliche again, but
It's real.
that's really more something you live and experience, and you kind of just you'll resonate, you'll embody that more than something you just kind of say. Like,
Right.
long story short, you'll be tested,
Mm.
and that's when you know what's real. That's when you know how serious and what you really want. Because I mean, life is gonna get it out you. Life is gonna test it.
Right. So, and what's your niche in real estate?
My niche, man, it's a couple, but all in all, my end game is about the massive passive income, the residual income, because again, that just speaks to the wealth and the freedom of time to go help other people, to invest in other businesses, to go buy more real estate, truthfully, to teach and share. But I am I mean, actively, I'm a fix and flip investor. I don't know, I just have a passion for the construction, just the renovation, the alchemy almost of a product that's an eyesore in its beginning, but you having a plan and you literally seeing an end. Again, speaking to starting with a vision and having an end in mind, seeing a finished product and where it's gonna go, and as a result of quarterback and masterminding that plan, and then carrying out and managing that plan, you yield result. And it's for-profit business, so it'll pay you accordingly. It's input is output. So
Right.
yeah, fix and flip investing, and from that I take to acquire more passive income properties to pour into the multifamily apartment commercial space,
Right.
and it's kind of one big machine that washes
Right.
itself. Go acquire
Right.
more profit for profit, fix and flip situations to
Right.
acquire more passive income and helping a whole bunch of people along the way.
Right. Showing them that it's possible, right?
For sure, living it.
So yeah, and it's a blessing, definitely. So so you're your current self, and you have the rare chance to see yourself right when you're starting on your entrepreneurial journey.
Right.
What do you tell yourself 6, 7 years ago? As who you are today, with everything you learned, what are you
Right.
telling yourself when you first started?
Mm. Man, that's a loaded question.
I
For
know, because
sure.
I think because of all the lessons that have been learned, it's hard to
Yeah, I
say.
feel like myself and I would be sitting down for a day, chopping it up. But in all seriousness, I think I would. It definitely. I would just be me speaking to just reassurance, to telling myself that you're right, but not because it's me and I'm Todd Javery, and ego aside, you're right because you're listening to why you're here and you're in alignment with it.
Mm,
So you're right, no matter how muddy times get, no matter how business just punches you in your face and you fall and get up, and it clips you and you fall and get up, and it
right,
kicks you and you fall and get up. Like, you literally, that comes with the territory. It literally, it's appropriate, it's a part of it, and you can get through it. And if it's on your plate, then you know, to whom much is given, much is for sure required. So I would just literally remind myself to hold that last plug for you. Hold that vision at the
mm,
forefront, and when your feet are on fire, when things are going crazy, and you just back against the wall, creatively figuring out how to see it through, and just doing your part, letting God do His. Just remember that it's still all good, and literally your journey, you're still in motion, and your journey is the reward. So everything is still moving forward.
I love it. I love it. The journey is the reward. I think
Yeah,
anybody watching this needs to embody that, because when you are chasing a dream, who you become is more important than how
yes
much you
indeed.
make.
Oh, for sure. It's the transformation. That's the true gift. That's the true reward. It's actually the tribulations, the lessons learned, everything you go through getting to, where you're trying to go.
Right.
That's 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 the real.
Right. Okay. And last question. I want to ask you this last one for everybody out there. What is in the last 6 months? What is the best book you've read?
My best book in the last 6 months. I'll be honest. I do definitely understand. Again, to my first point, the power and just self development. I'm an avid reader. I would have to say it's not that any of them, there's any lesser, but just the one that sticks out and the one that's just most recent, to me, I would probably have to say The Power of Broke by Daymond John. It,
Okay.
At the last, I mean, I can name 9 other books, like literally that, that all matter type of deal.
Right.
And it's even crazy enough. It's even books that he referenced in that book. But I
Yeah.
think that book, as of recent history, is speaking to me about a lot of good, lesson learning times that I've even gone through in business as of recent. It just, again, what I would tell myself years back was just the affirmation of like, yo, this is appropriate. You can handle it. You can build for it. This is who you are. This is what it is, and it's all worth it. Keep keep trucking. Like even the punch in the face, even the cut, even that's building. That's building blocks. And
Right.
that book really gave me permission to. It further gave me permission to kind of appreciate and accept that. So hats off for sure to Daymond John.
Okay. Well, you guys listening, go get that book. I'll put it in the description for you guys because that is a great book. It just came out a month ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago.
very easy, good read.
Yeah, it's an easy read. It's a good read, and it'll definitely change your
Uh,
perspective on a lot of things. But if
yeah.
somebody's looking to get into real estate in the New Orleans market or the Atlanta market, how can they contact you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can find me via social media at BatCaveJave, BatCaveJave. My business is Javeco Enterprises, LLC. You can reach me. I mean, even via my business line 404-955-7476. I'm usually linked with Mr. Starts with a Vision, in several different ways, on and off camera. So,
Right.
truthfully, it's not too hard to get to either one of us, but definitely be on the lookout. I have, quite a bit of just experience and good info to share as well. And I definitely appreciate you again as well. And, your platform is, you got something serious going. So, that goes without a saying. But
Yeah, I definitely appreciate you as well, man. It's
mhm.
it's, it's been it's been a few years, but it's
Yeah,
been good
man.
times. It's been
Yeah,
good.
half the journey you've been there for, so you really got to see a lot of what I'm
Yeah,
discussing.
yeah.
Seriously.
Absolutely. Well, you guys heard it, and we're gonna sign off. And we hope that this helps somebody go towards their dreams, whether it be real estate or entrepreneurship, because we understand that you know, entrepreneurship is more than real estate. And so I don't want to push one thing on you guys. Whatever your heart is telling you to do, go do. But these are things that could be applied to your life, whether it is real estate or something else. So
Absolutely.
always remember, guys, whatever you do, it starts with the vision. And do you have anything else to say, Todd?
Man, just everybody again, have that vision, hold that vision and pursue it. Just go for it. Be relentless, be extremely serious and passionate and, super grateful and be strong in your faith with whatever you're doing. And, I believe is law. If you give it that input, it has to yield you the results you want. So keep on trucking.
Absolutely, guys. Keep trucking and keep subscribing and keep liking and keep commenting. And we're
For
going to
sure.
keep these videos coming. We'll see you on the next video, guys.